In this exercise, we're going to learn how to draw with the pen and Bezigan tool. Let's go ahead and go to our Tools panel and let's select the pen tool. And let's go back to our shapes here. What I did, I drew these shapes earlier and I just converted them to guides so we can just go ahead and use this as our tracing layer, just like how we talked about in our guides lesson. And this is a good example to show you. And you notice here that I have the guides layer locked so they won't move. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and let's start at the end point here. And let's just go ahead and click. And then you see how these little handles come out. Well, just shape these handles and just pull it and stretch it out until you can get it just about right. And let's just keep going until we finish this. Okay, and that there. And if you get like an oddball one here, it's just not working, go ahead and undo that. And the easiest way to do that on your keyboard is to Control-Z or to Apple-Z on the Macintosh, and you see it reverts back to the last step. So let's try that again. Let's just come out a little further and see if that doesn't work better. Okay, that's a little bit better. So let's just keep going. Now almost done. And as you see, you just have to play with this tool. And I might just have to go all the way to the end to get it to stretch. So let's go ahead and stretch all the way to the end. And then it closes the path, but then it's the closest. So let's just go ahead and leave it here like that. And it filled itself because on the Tools panel where the colors are, you see that there's a yellow that's already in there. So therefore it took on that color and it went ahead and filled it. Now let's go and click on our arrow tool, and you can reshape these handles. Let's zoom in and take a look at these handles. They look like little sticks, and you can just grab them and you see how it shapes. Just move this around and let go, and you see how it's a little bit better. Now this is still hard to see, so let's zoom in so I can show you what it looks like. And use your hand tool and just move. And you see it's kind of crisscrossed here, and that's why we need to zoom in and take a look at what's going on. So let's try to uncrisscross it and just move it about. Okay, that's better. And then just grab it and just stretch it out a bit. Okay, that's pretty close. Now let's zoom out of here. A little bit too much. Let's go. Okay, but you see how the pen tool makes not too many points, but just, several points throughout the entire closed path. Now let's go and choose the Bezigan, or otherwise known as the Bezier tool. And that's right next to it. It's this arc with the little black dots on it. So go ahead and select that. And for this, it's going to require more points. I use the Bezigan quite a bit as opposed to the pen tool. I guess just because from what I've learned and what I'm used to. So you're going to set your own personal preference for this as well. Okay, go ahead and let's start at this point and hold your Option key or your Alt key down so it'll curve. Otherwise, what will happen is if you don't, you're going to just get straight lines, straight edges just throughout the entire curve. So go ahead and hold your Alt key down, and this will keep a curvature. And you see how this is a lot different from the pen tool, because the pen tool, you can come out to this point, and what will happen is that, you can bend and curve it. This one, you pretty much have to follow the path and just click along the path and just keep clicking and keep clicking. But you see how much easier this is, and that's the reason why a lot of people favor this over the pen tool. And the only drawback to this is that the more points you have, the bigger file size you have as well. Okay, we're almost done here. Just keep clicking. And for this last point, let's go ahead and take your finger off of the Option or the Alt key and go ahead and let's close this path off. Okay, now let's go to the magnification tool and select that, and let's take a look at what's going on in this corner. Something seems kind of weird, so let's go look. And you see that there's a whole bunch of little different handles. So just if you want to reshape it to where it hits this guide, just grab this handle and you can stretch. And once again, too, you know how you can pull and the thing goes, whoa, it goes way out, and then you can retract back in, and that's too much, so you can bring it up like that. And then there's another handle here, and you can pull, and that's the wrong one, so you want to just undo that one, just Control Z, and just grab this one. Okay, that's the right one there, and just move it around. Okay, and let's zoom out of here. And let's go ahead and select both of these. Grab my arrow tool. And if you want to select multiple items, just hold your Shift key down. And now both items are selected. Now compare both of them together. Look at how many points we have on our Bezigon tool opposed to our pen tool. Now this is a big difference we're in file sizes, because right now it's not going to make too much of a difference because we only have these two. But when you're working with a lot of graphics with a lot of points, it adds up. And when you try to open certain files that have millions and millions of points, sometimes it's almost impossible to open files, because I've done so where I've had just billions of points to where it's just rendered the entire graphic almost unusable at one point. So be careful of that. Both of them have its pros and cons, so play with them both and see which one you like, and just take it from there. It's like I said, it's a personal preference thing, but they're both very cool and useful tools to use.